Good afternoon. This is Pam with Follow Your Brush, and down the ink hole we go today. Again, it's January 2025. I'm starting a new page in my book to record my pens, what I'm doing. It says, "Hey Pen Pals." If you haven't watched me before, this is a combination of watercolor and pen videos because I'm in the process of doing both. Really started to enjoy fountain pens and ink in 2024. My journal that I'm using is from Galen Leather. I also love my Galen Leather. I've talked about that before. This is just their journal cover, and I have their everyday book, also from Galen Leather, and it's Tumble River paper. And so I'm going to use this for all of my pens that are inked, either currently inked or right now. I'm just going to go through my pen case, what I haven't been using, and get them out and get it together. If you saw my last video, you saw where I talked about my Lamy 2000 that had been in my pen case, cleaned and not been used for quite some time. I bought it back in March of 2024, 14 karat gold nib. And I had just messed up, as I talked about in my last video, trying to fill it and understand how to use it. And so today we're going to revisit all my Lamys. This is what I'm going to do on this page, because I do have more. I got on this Lamy kick. And but I have this inked with Spinnaker. That really doesn't, you really can't see that well because, let me do it again. Spinnaker. And it's from Birmingham Pen Company. So you can watch my video if you want to hear me talk about my Lamy 2000 and how it was so abused and ignored. And now I'm going to swatch some of this ink for you. This is also something I just purchased, and that is this Kakamori brass nib to do my swatches. So this is my first swatching video using this nib. And as you know, and I'm learning, you can do different sizes of lines according to how you hold your pen. The nib, I mean. You can get bigger, more narrow, wider, more narrow. But this is Birmingham Pen Company, and is called Spinnaker, is the way I'm pronouncing it. Now, if I'm incorrect, which is totally possible, let me know. But that's a great ink, and I have been writing with it ever since I refilled it the other day. And so I've been really good. I have been really good about using it and not ignoring this beautiful pen that I purchased and then never used. I do have a cheat sheet here to see what I want to look at next. The next one actually surprised me because I discovered that I purchased this pen, and I got a little sticker here to remind me. It's a little cheat sheet. I bought this in 2021. This is another Lamy. What I had done for this pen, I had seen a recommendation from Steve Mitchell of Mind of Watercolor. If you don't watch him, oh, you need to, because he's fabulous. And he also was talking about fountain pens as well as watercolor. And he said that the Lamy was a really good, inexpensive choice, and especially for beginning fountain pen users. Then I watched a video on Lamy and how they're made, tour through the factory. I found that online and was so impressed. But this was the first one that I bought. So this is the, look how nicely this is writing. This is the Lamy Safari. Nope, I'm sorry. It's not the Lamy Safari. AL Star. And I had purchased off of Amazon. I didn't even realize it was back in 2021. If you go back to Amazon, they will tell you when you purchase something last. And I also did not remember that it has a fine nib. but it's absolutely writing beautifully. And so I don't know why did I put these pens away, except that I was just excited about buying pens. I just got into this thing that I was just like, if I saw a pen, I had to have it. I inked the ink on this pen, which is writing so beautifully. I think I'm probably going to just keep it inked and continue to use it here for the next few weeks. For January, I'm going to use my LAMYs. This ink is from Noodlers, and it's a bottle that I had purchased also back when I was just buying stuff. And it's Black Swan. Look how beautifully this writes. And it's called English Roses. And it's just a beautiful color. I had gotten this as a sample, but then ordered a bottle because I really, really like the color. So this is my Lamy AL Star with a fine nib that I bought in 2021. And let's swatch this ink. Like I say, I did buy a bottle after trying it with a sample because I was impressed with it. So let's get my little Kakamori nib in here, dip it just a couple times because I'm learning how to use this as well. And I am going to put the lid back on because I am prone to disasters. So let's try using this Kakamori nib again to do the swatch. Isn't that pretty? It's just such a beautiful, almost a cranberry color. And I like the name, the English Roses. And let me see if I can do my lines again. This thumb has a plate in it, so it doesn't like to move. There's some wide strokes. There's some thin lines. There we go. So this is English Roses. Clean that out. And then I have two more LAMYs. Who would have thought that I just got carried away. I have so many pens that I purchased this last year. If it was pretty, I bought it. If I didn't have it, somebody else did and it looked pretty, I wanted to buy it. The next one that I got, also because I saw a video, I think I actually bought this one from Goulet Pens from a video I saw. This is my little cheat sheet here. This was the Blackberry Violet that came out in March 2024. This is the Lamy Safari. Take my little sticker off. And it had the two-tone in the colorway. And this is also a fine nib. I keep thinking that I ordered medium nibs all the time, but I'm pulling these out and finding that they are fine nibs. I'm just like surprising myself with these purchases. This one, I also ordered the Violet Blackberry ink from Lamy. And it is so pretty. Let me write with this first because I did put a little bit of ink in here, and then we'll do the swatch. This is my Lamy Safari. This one's the Safari. Look how nice that writes. What is the matter with me? Also a fine nib, and I purchased it in March of 2024. That's when I really began my spending spree in buying fountain pens. That's when I really started getting going. And the name of the pen is Blackberry Violet. And you'll see as this dries, it has a little bit of a sheen to the ink actually, and this writes beautifully. And the ink is also from Lamy and by the same name. So let's, what a nice pen. So I think this is going to be my January list. let's swatch this. Got this cleaned out. Let me give it a couple good dips in here. I don't want to dip it too far, but I'm just learning how to use this. Put the lid back on, Pamela, so you don't spill it. Put it up here, and now let's swatch this Blackberry Violet. Beautiful color, and you'll see as it dries, hopefully you'll be able to see it. Doing better here with my little lines, aren't I? Go wide. I'll get the hang of it. You'll see as this dries that it begins to, it leaves a bit of a sheen. It's really kind of pretty. I don't know if you can see it. I will zoom in. I think you can kind of see some of it as the writing is already beginning to dry. If you can see that little bit of a sheen on there or not. And I don't know if my lighting's good enough. We'll see how this dries. I'm going to do another one here because I discovered I have 4 Lamys in my case that were not in use. So they'll give that time to dry while we go to the next one. So here I'm trying to think what I want to do for January for currently inked pens. I do have some that I like to use like all the time. And so they'll stay around, like my SD King of the Night and my Leonardo that I just got, that Kitsu, that Leonardo Memento Zero that I got from Stilo and Style. I'm sorry, I'm messing all my words up. See that sheen coming on this Blackberry Violet? Hope you can see that. All right, let's go down to the next one. I'm going to keep this zoomed in because you can see. The next one, look at this gorgeous pen that I bought. Sitting in my case, it says another Lamy. This is their Studio. This was also a limited edition for 2023, although I purchased it in 2024. I did not purchase it in 2023 because I didn't start my big spree until then. And this also has a fine nib. This is the Lamy Studio. Writes absolutely dreamy. Fine nib. And it's the rose color. And it was a limited edition. In 2023, although I purchased in probably March or April, not sure which. Maybe another March purchase because I was just going to town with buying my pretty fountain pens. This is gorgeous, and I don't know why I've had it sitting in my pen case unused. It's absolutely stunning. Beautiful, beautiful pen. Snaps on. Nice clip. Snaps off. Isn't that pretty? And the ink that I put in this, I can't come back out a little bit so you can see what's going on. The other ones, and hopefully that's drying and you can see that better. The ink that I put in this one is from Tom Studio, which that's another adventure I'm going on, is getting into trying Tom Studio and their products. I'll do that needs a whole separate video. But I got this ink sample on my ink flight box. So let me get this down in there. This is a very pretty color. They have really nice inks that I'm enjoying. This is called Cassius. It's also kind of a pink color. which I thought was kind of appropriate actually for this pen because it's such a beautiful rose color. And I thought the English roses actually fit the All-Star better, but for this one I wanted to go with this pink, with this Cassius. It's more of a light pink, you'll see as it dries. So that's from Lamy Studio. So these are my 4 Lamys that have been sitting and languishing, I tell you, in my pen case. So I have my Lamy 2000, my one that I bought a long time ago, 2021, and then just kind of stopped using it for whatever reason. The AL Star with the fine nib, my Blackberry Violet, also with a fine nib, and then this gorgeous studio pen, also with a fine nib in rose color. Just beautiful, almost like a rose blush. So that's what I'm going to be using. I didn't put a ton of ink in these. I'm learning. Now, y'all do your videos and you don't tell me this, but if you're just going to be trying them out for a while, don't totally fill it with ink. Maybe that's part of my frustration. I would totally fill these pens up, and then I wouldn't be using them, and then the ink was sitting in them, and then I felt badly. So I cleaned them all out, and I put them up, and then I forgot about them because I was always looking at the next best, prettiest pen video. I just really got hooked this last year. See how pretty pink that's drying? That's Lamy Studio. It's not too far from the English roses, but it's a little bit lighter when it writes. It's a little different. You can see a difference in the writing. So these are my Lamys, and I'm going to use them. But like I said, I didn't put but maybe this much ink in them. I didn't fill them all the way. So it's not going to take me weeks and weeks to rotate these 4 pens with the other ones that I like to use. I've been using this one regularly as I journal and take notes and on the phone and making notes on the telephone with people that I need to talk to. So I have been using my Lamy 2000. And look how pretty that violet, hopefully you can see that Blackberry Violet. See that shimmer in there? That's dry now. It looks like it almost might still be wet, but it's not. So I'm going into 2025 using my Lamys that I purchased back in 2021 and the beginning of last year. And I'm going to let them come out and play. Thank you for watching, liking, subscribing. I'm not monetized. I just do this for fun, to share with you what I'm doing. So like and subscribe if you choose to. And I'll see you again next time down the ink hole or following my brush. Thanks. Bye.